There is nothing anybody can tell me. These housemates, especially the finalists, are born entertainers. I know that there have been arguments, there have been conversations, there have been questions about who will win because people have been very confused. Well, this video is dedicated to breaking down who the winner of the season 10 of Big Brother will be.
How are you today?
Hey, Big Brother, I'm elated. I am excited. I am thankful. I am honored. I am everything.
Guys, this is going to be a very interesting episode. Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Lucy's Quick One, talking the Big Brother Naija show season 10. 10 over 10, no zero, no minus. 10 over love, 10 over drama, 10 over bad clothes and everything in between. Guys, the season is winding down and the one question or the one conversation that has been on the lips of everybody is, for the first time in the history of Big Brother, nobody can predict who the winner will be. However, even though we can't predict, I'm here to break down who these finalists are, how their journey started, and how probably one or two people might actually be the top 5 when it comes to season 10. And then when we're able to get the top 5, we'll be able to know who the winner might just be. Now, talking about this housemate, guys, I would like to take them one after the other and talk about them as briefly as possible. The first on my list will be Coin. Coin's start in Big Brother's house was quite dramatic. He was the first man to cry in Big Brother's house, and that earned him the name Coco Melon, because for everybody, you know, he's the youngest guy in the house and everything. So he had an altercation with K-Bobo at the beginning of the season, and because of that, he earned the name Coco Melon. Everybody started calling him Coco Melon. But as the season progressed, you notice that this guy is quite energetic when it comes to the parties. He is very competitive and very focused. He can be quiet at times and a bit nonchalant. And when it comes to this guy called Coin, I almost called him Cocomelo right now. When it comes to this guy called Coin, his best friend is Didi in the house, right? And he formed a very good relationship with her, and he never really dwindled till the end of the season that we are in right now. I mean, they don't talk all the time, but their friendship is still very good. Now, towards the end of the season, he formed this kind of fun ship with a lady called Isabella in the house, and even up until yesterday, their ship was having issues, and that's because on Sunday, Big Brother asked Isabella, okay, what's happening between you and Coin? And she said they're just having fun, and then Coin also replied the same way. However, that response did not go well with the both of them, and they had an argument and they had a fallout, and probably they will be back by the end of today. Who knows? But I mean, the season is about to come to an end. But when it comes to Coin, he is an audacious personality. I would say that he has a lot of fan base, right? Because when you watch the screen, most of the times you see people calling Coin, 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 vote for Coin. Now, moving away from Coin, I'm going to another interesting personality. I would say that this top 10 are no small people. This next personality is called Isabella. Isabella is audacious. Isabella is a fireball. At the beginning of the season, we get to know Isabella as a troublemaker because, you know, she was one person who said she doesn't want to do general cooking. She stood her ground, had issues with the likes of Thelma Lawson when it looks like, you know, her love interest then, Kaikumi, was being dragged by Thelma Lawson. And you know that this girl is expressive because, you know, at the point where she and Kaikumi had an entanglement, or when they started having a ship, you know, she was quite expressive. She was crying when it looks like Kaikumi was not understanding who she was, or Kaikumi was not rating her love the way he should. And I would say going into the season, she's quite loud. Hey, a lot of people have called her controversial. Now, after Kaikumi left, you know, she went on to get into some fights, some arguments from Sultana. She went into Thelma Lawson, and then from Thelma Lawson to Tega. I mean, at the end of the day, it was very interesting to see that the same Sultana, who she had issues with, right, became her friend, as well as Imisi. Now, like I said, for Coin, towards the end of the season, she has the ship with Coin, and as well, I would say that I don't know where that ship is going, because right now, for Isabella, she's not even having anything to do with Koyin anymore. She just wants to end the season on a very good note. I don't know how that's going to be like, but we're going to see. Now, towards the end of the season, she also had an injury on her ankle, and that's what has been making her to limp. But when it comes to her personality as a person, she has been loud. She's somebody who will say, I do not care. You can talk to me for all I care. I do not care. That's the reason I'm on the show. And she can talk about her son for the longest, and she has shown that she loves her son. So I would say that she is a strong personality. The third person on my list will be Dede, aka the lady, the fisherwoman, or the lady with 3 fishes. Now, at the beginning of the season, you could see that Dede was a person who stood her ground, and from the beginning of the season till the end of the season, she has not changed as a person. Now, for Dede, the conversation started with the conversation of the 3 fishes, where we could see that she had a close relationship with the first 2 men, that is Koyin and Jason J. A very good friendship, and she would say that for Koyin it was deeper as she saw herself being closer with this guy, but for Jason J, they always talked on a surface level because she understood that he had somebody outside, and for her, she also has somebody outside. Now, the third person on this fisherman list or fisherwoman list would be Kola, and Kola is, I would say, her love interest in the house. This man did not let this lady rest at all, and the fact that she had these guys, drooling over her or being around her all the time just caused a lot of conversation, made a lot of people outside or a lot of ladies outside to say, oh, this lady has stood her ground and she knows her worth. So ladies should always know their worth, know that, oh, you're supposed to be chased and you're not the one supposed to be doing the chasing and all of that. When it comes to Dede, she can be competitive, especially when it comes to tasks. She's always at the front of workout sessions as well, and she has won a lot of tasks. When it comes to friendships, her friendships include Mide, and then she was also friends with Joanna. Right now, towards the end of the season, it looks like she's also having a kind of friendship with Faith, who we all did not even know. But at the end of the day, this lady has been termed woman commando, and a lot of women stan her. This Dede situation actually brings me to the next finalist, Kola. Hey, people have called him loquacious because he can talk. Kola would be known as a talkative because Kola, from the beginning of the season till the end of the season, Kola talked. To the extent that, at some point towards the end of the season, he was given a punishment for talking too much, for saying too much, or saying the things that he was not meant to say. At that point, Big Brother had to tell him to start writing on the pad if he had to express himself to any of the housemates. Kola is a fashion icon. Kola made sure that throughout the season, his outfits always made a statement. Kola also carried himself with a sort of pride at some point, But when it comes to Dede, he did not let her matter rest because he felt like he was suffering from unrequited love. A lot of people got agitated about who is this guy and why is he always talking about this lady? If she has said that she has a relationship outside, why can't she just be friends with her? Even towards the end of the season, after their Independence Day party, when Kola was tipsy, or I would say he was a bit drunk, he still went to talk to Dede. He was like, I don't like the fact that you're not treating our relationship as special. In fact, I would like to call what we have a situationship. And while Dede was having the best fun of her life, right, Kola was just getting agitated at the fact that, Dede does not rate him the way he rates her as a person. But somehow when it comes to Kola, people have said that, Kola and Dede's relationship has been more of, he trying to be in the faces of people. He doesn't really feel as much love. He might be attracted to her, as he has always said, but he doesn't really feel as much love as he says he does. And when it comes to his diary session at the Independence Day, right, he talked about everybody that has made impact in his life, and he did not even mention the name Dede. So we all understand that it's a game at the end of the day. And while some people still argue about his relationship with this lady called Emisi, right? They have been able to build what we call a siblingship, and it has always been interesting to see. And at the end of the day, I would say that he also has entertained the audience the best way he knows how to. And when it comes to color money, as they always call him, like I said, he carries himself well. And when it comes to fashion, he knows they carry last. We move on to his sister, Emisi. Emisi is a very interesting personality. Personally, I would like to call her an entertainer. She has entertained from the beginning of the show till the end. Now, when it comes to Emisi, at the beginning of the show, people kind of did not like her. They found out, or they thought that she was quite loud and she was quite weird. And, she had a rough start with most of the housemates. She would always fight and get into some kind of argument, and sometimes she would always speak the Yoruba language, and it got a lot of people saying, who is this girl, like where is she from and all of that, is she low class and things like that. But from the beginning of the season till now, she has managed to entertain people. She has managed to earn the hearts of all the housemates in the house, or probably except for Faith, who at the beginning of the season she was close with, but they had a very terrible fallout, and because of that she doesn't want to have anything to do with him, as well as Faith, right? But when it comes to entertainment, she is funny, she is dramatic. Talk about the dance floor and her music, Oble. Once Oble comes up, just know that that song is dedicated to Emisi, and she would scatter the dance floor. Like I said earlier, she's friends with the likes of Capable, and then her sibling is Kola, and they've kind of like had an impact on each other. According to her, Kola has helped her to calm down, Kola has helped her not to be too loud, Kola has helped her to be more classy. And well, when it comes to Emisi, I would say that she also has a large following outside. The noise about Emisi is loud. Now moving on to the next person that has had a fallout with Emisi, his name is Faith. I would say that Faith is the most controversial housemate in the history of Big Brother when it comes to the men. Faith is a doctor. Faith is intelligent. Faith can be called a dictator because of the part of when he was the head of house. People called him a dictator because he just said this has to be like this and things have to be like this. And then he's interesting. Will I say fallout with Emisi also got a lot of people talking. People feel like he's arrogant. People feel like he's authoritative. People feel like he's quite misunderstood. Faith is just an interesting person. Faith is knowledgeable. He's also quite funny. But anytime I see Faith on my screen and I see the way people talk about him, it makes me laugh. Because sometimes I know he can be quite annoying, and I like the fact that during one of the eviction shows, he said he can be the problem as well as the housemate. Faith will tell you that this is what it is, and he will not budge. He will keep on going. Faith can also be instigating sometimes. Yes, he can instigate you, and that's because he's on that show. He will try to push you to the level where you'll be like, like you can remember the likes of Thelma Lawson. He pushed Thelma Lawson to her limit at some point. And sometimes, if you want to be honest with yourself, Faith can be right. Now, Faith also had a relationship with Sultana at the beginning of the show. They had a fallout. But interestingly, towards the end of the show, right, they kind of like found their way to each other. Faith also got close to the likes of Joanna, and like I said for Didi, towards the end of the show, Faith has grown a kind of friendship with the likes of Didi. Now, towards the end of the show too, he also had a kind of fallout with the likes of Mensan, and that was because of the whole washing of plates. He felt like Mensan was doing it to gain favor and to gain appreciation and to be noticed. He was not doing it because he wanted to do it, and because of that, he and Mensan had a fallout because Mensan felt like he was attacking his personality. Like I said before, this also made a lot of people to say, who exactly is Faith? Faith has always one task, and his famous slang, "I always win," has gotten on the nerve of some people and has gotten applause from some people. Now moving on to the next person, Sultana. Sultana is one unassuming housemate. Sultana has been termed slow, but Sultana is the last female head of house when it comes to Big Brother Naija season 10. Sultana had an interesting start with the likes of Gigi Jasmine, who was her friend, and like I said before, it was very interesting to see that she didn't like the likes of Isabella, but now she and Isabella are friends. Sultana is somebody that you think that she doesn't really care when it comes to games, and nobody would have believed that at the end of the day, Sultana would be the head of house. Sultana can be quite opinionated, but she will say her things in a very subtle manner. Sultana is somebody that people would like to call easy busy. She carries herself so slowly or so calmly. She doesn't really like to stress. Now, when it comes to love interest in the house, she has stood by one person, Jason J. I mean, at the beginning, she had a kind of thing with Faith and then a bit of playfulness, or will I say fun, with Coin. But towards the middle of the season, you know that she was focused on one person and one person only, Jason J. And she had issues with the likes of Didi. Remember the whole peeing in the box situation whereby she said she was drunk and then she peed in Didi's box. Now, we all know that at the beginning of the season, Jason J and Didi were close. So because of that singular act of peeing in the box, Sultana gained the attention of a lot of audience, and then we moved on to the issue with Joanna, because Jason J was somebody who always danced with Joanna when it comes to pool parties and Saturday parties, and it was not sitting well with Sultana at the end of the day. But long story short, Long story short, Jason J and Sultana, I would say, ended up in the head of house as, you know, a couple or as a thing, and well, the season is about to come to an end. I would say that again, Sultana is unassuming and would like to see how far she's going to go when it comes to this game, what position she's going to be carrying at the end of the day. Jason J, the man that is so competitive, his parents named him twice. The first head of house when it comes to the Big Brother Naija season 10, and then the last head of house. Talk about consistency. Jason J is competitive. Jason J is also focused. Like I talked about Didi, his first friendships in the house were the likes of Didi, but later on they had a fallout and then he just decided to be on his own. He was close to the likes of Culture as well. But one thing about Jason J is the fact that he is competitive and focused. And Jason J is a party baller. Jason J loves to dance. He never carries last when it comes to the dance floor. Anytime there's music, count Jason J in. He has entertained us from the beginning of the season till now. His narrative when it comes to the house has not been so complex. I would say he has been quite straightforward, but people were kind of sad when it looks like he and Didi were not so close. But when it comes to this task of carrying a baby or taking care of a baby, himself and Didi have found themselves back to each other, but their friendship have not been so close. But he has been steady with the likes of Sultana. But JCJ has always said that he had a relationship or he has a relationship outside, but it's very interesting to see that he also has a thing with Sultana in the house. I'm not really sure. I don't really want to predict anything when it comes to Jason J, but when it comes to the finalists, Jason J is also on that list. We move over to a very unassuming person, K-Bobo. K-Bobo gained his reputation in the house as a kitchen boy. K-Bobo started the show and he was always in the kitchen to the extent that Ebuka had to ask him that people are complaining that you're always in the kitchen, you don't do any other thing else. So this guy tried to mingle with the housemates, tried to, be active when it comes to workout sessions, tried to be active when it comes to tasks, tried to put his input in one thing or the other. But because he is not that person, he is really a kitchen person. He has always been on the lips of people when it comes to kitchen. But I would say that he also gained attention when he started having a bit of relationship with Thelma Lawson, which didn't last for so long because Thelma Lawson was evicted from the show. But K-Bobo has always been this very calm, always caring, attentive to people kind of person. He has a friendship with Emisi, also had a fallout with Emisi at some point, and then later on he came back to being friends with Emisi. And I would say he's really a person who kind of knows himself a bit. People have argued that he doesn't carry himself as the bad boy that he should be, but you can't force somebody to be who he's not, right? But when it comes to relations, again, he kind of was kind of close with the likes of Ivata at some point, but he's just gained a reputation for being in the kitchen, for being unproblematic, for just being an easy housemate, but still made it to the finals. Now, last but not the least will be Kill the Chicken, King of Africa, Mensah. This was the first man in the history of Big Brother Naija show to cry so much in the diary session, uncontrollably, to the extent that Big Brother almost cancelled his diary session. At that point, people kept on asking, who exactly is this guy called Mensah? Because why is he crying so much? It felt like he came into the house to gain his therapy session or to have a therapy session. Mensah is also a fireball when it comes to parties. He can dance, he can be energetic. Mensah can carry everybody along. He can be so loud. He is also expressive. Mensah, according to Faith, he is kind of hiding some traits. Mensah has had fallout with the likes of Ivata. At some point, he was accused of always forcing himself on Ivata. Mensah can cry for Africa. Mensah loves his mom. We all know that for a fact. But when it comes to the house, he has also contributed immensely to the house. He has been lucky to get immunity and things like that. And when it comes to Mensah, right, I think that he's going to be one of the top 5. So guys, these are the 10 housemates or the 10 finalists when it comes to the Big Brother Naija show. But unlike some of those housemates, some of these other housemates have I would say a large following, or they have fans that make a lot of noise outside the house. The first will be Emisi. Emisi has a lot of fans, so I would like to rate her as one of my top 5. We also have Face. Because of how controversial he is, Face is one of my top 5 when it comes to the end of this season, mark my words. Next will be Didi, because even though people have said she's boring and she doesn't have a storyline, nobody cares about that. This lady has carried herself with so much grace from the beginning of the season till the end. I mean, I was scared that if Kola made it to the final, she might probably fall for Kola, but she has still stood her ground. And because she stands for ladies who know their worth, because she stands for the whole, respect your relationship and then never chase a man, she has a lot of fans behind her. Now, I would also say that these are the top 3 first, and then I would like to take out the likes of maybe Coin, and I would say we might be surprised, Mensah or Sultana. These people will be the top 5 when it comes to the Big Brother Naija season 10 show. So from this top 5, you can now decide which of them might just be going home with the prize. At the end of the day, it's still quite unpredictable, if I must say, and I would like to give kudos to those who selected this housemates for season 10. They were not playing when they decided to make this 10 over 10, no zero and no minus. So these are my top 5 when it comes to my list according to me. So out of these top 5 people, who do you think will be going over the prize? I would like to know in the comment section. At the end of the day, guys, I think we might just be shocked. Ha! Till then, let's talk about it in the comment section. I got you more right here on this channel. Till next time, remember to enjoy every moment.